How it go?
Ooh-wee!
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 Ooh.
It's Sweat Equity Podcast and Streaming Show, the number one.
DJ Volume Master.
And another one.
I'm
Comedy slash business podcast in the world. Ooh-wee!
You already did that.
I'm going to keep doing some ooh-wees, dude. Did we win a new award? What's the new award?
Business Podcast of the Year from, what was it?
Corporate Vision Magazine?
Corporate Vision.
Yeah.
Thanks, Corporate Vision. I see you.
We already locked up 2023, and it's not even done.
Yeah.
Listen to us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. If you're listening to this in your ear holes right now, go on there, subscribe, rate, review, and then take the extra leap. Share this knowledge with someone you like.
Do you think anybody listens through their nose holes?
I don't know, man. I don't know how sound works.
Obviously.
What I do know is that we got a couple sponsors I'm going to rip through. If you need a website, use Squarespace. It's the all-in-one website builder, e-commerce, build your brand. Don't let anybody dictate your message. Build your own website. Get the hookup, holler if you hear me, with a link in the episode description. CallRail. You want to track all the calls on your website? You got a lot of volume. You want to record all the calls for quality assurance, but like legit quality assurance, so you can actually look at them and go,
creepy.
Hey,
not being creepy.
You're talking to a guy all wrong here. CallRail call tracking.
If you're Rodney Dangerfield.
Link in the episode description. Bigly Sales, a CRM with marketing outreach, and now a lot of AI happening in that biz. Get the hookup. Holler if you hear me.
There's a lot of AI in the biz.
Episode description has the link. And lastly, LinkedIn Premium. You want to see who's looking at you on your profile? You want to get your career advanced? Get 2 months free with a link in our episode description for LinkedIn Premium. Let's get this party started.
No.
Party started.
It's called Sweat Equity.
Listening to the Sweat Equity Podcast.
Hello.
Hello.
Let me just put my AirPods on. And I think I'm going to like this podcast.
Oh, man.
All right.
I think I'm going to love this. Because I can swear on this one.
You can say whatever you want.
Please do. Please. I want to hear the worst you got.
We're First Amendment all the way. Are you in Canada?
I'm in Canada. Can you guys hear me well? Yeah. Good.
Actually, it was better before the AirPods.
Yeah.
No shit. Really?
Yeah, a little bit. The AirPods have a delay to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We find we don't trust Bluetooth for when you really need
give me
it.
wires. Give me that cord life.
I feel you. Let me plug in my actual microphone.
That's cool.
That's much better. How do I sound now? Much better?
Better.
Yes, much better. Now you sound sexy.
Now, your voice is full.
Hello.
Is
it me you're looking for?
You're out of Montreal, right?
I am out of Montreal. That's right.
Yeah, and you can't, in Canada, you can't say everything you want. So you're in our domain. Technically, you can say whatever you want.
It'll be published on an American site. I think you're good.
Hell yeah. Well, that's why there's no podcast
can't say that.
in Canada, except for like the government ones.
Well, I know some comics have gotten sued. They come up from the States and go up there, do gigs, and they don't know that part of Canada. You can't just say whatever you want. They don't have the First Amendment, and so some of them get sued. And
they probably do. It's just different.
They're just like, I ain't go back. I'll just never do gigs in Canada again. I'll just never go there again.
Yeah, it's a small market. I deal with startups. Even every startup here immediately says, "Canada? Fuck this. What do you mean Canada? No, it's too small of a market. Way too small. Insignificant almost compared to the United States right there, right next to us. Yeah. That's where the money is. All my clients are in the U.S.
But Montreal's a very
Right,
international city.
yeah.
Like it
Yes.
pulls people in. I've been once, and it's gorgeous. It's
It's
wild.
so Montreal's redeeming factor is that it used to be cheap. Real estate was really cheap. You could get a very nice house for 600, 700 a year, 700K. But that's no longer the case. You know, a simple house costs you $1 million, and you get maybe a door with a roof, no walls.
Yeah, I don't know if that's. I think that's a lot of urban places nowadays. Like we're in
Yeah.
Tampa, Florida, and this used to be kind of a little like secret small city, and now real estate went up 3 times in the last like 3
Yeah, I
times
love
in
it.
the last 10 years or something
Great,
crazy.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Jeez.
It's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
That's it. So it's, I guess maybe worldwide, but Montreal I think is like number 4 at this point.
Well,
Worldwide. Yeah, it's nuts.
just
It's actually stupid.
keep our baseball team away from your city.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. We don't. And I don't want to share. I don't want to share with
No,
Montreal. No
yeah.
offense.
Imagine the
I feel ya.
having to do the taxes as a player. Like you got to file in Canada and the United States and all that.
Oh.
No, yeah. Yeah, I have there's a lot of ex-Americans who live in Canada and they have to do like the dual tax return.
Yeah,
And they
you get
always
that.
just zero it out.
You
Yeah.
got those silly money, the loonies. We just don't like it because it's all different colors.
Yeah,
We're like, that's monopoly money.
you
Ours
can't
is
have
cool.
ladies on your money.
In Montreal, I
Yeah.
did see a stripper put an ice cube down her and then squirt out water. It was amazing.
Her mouth.
No,
That is a serious skill.
yeah.
That's an interesting skill. That's something you don't put on a resume.
Well, it was something that was a Montreal delicacy. And coming from Florida, where we got a lot of strippers, and I'd never seen something like that, I was pretty amazed.
Delicacy.
That's
huh?
I you know what I don't know. I have no idea. I've never been to a strip club personally. So.
Yeah, me neither.
Me neither.
No, we're in strip club city. I went to one at 14 with braces and a cast and Umbros on.
Right.
I couldn't have looked more like a child, honestly. I walked in with a Swisher Sweet, like one of those shitty cigar dealios.
Your ID.
Why don't you give everybody your plugs, where to find you, website, social, anything else?
Sounds good. Are you recording this? No.
Oh yeah, we chew the fat like this, man.
Big
Yeah.
time recording.
Okay, so
This is
where
the
to
good
find
stuff.
me? Well, if you follow me on LinkedIn or if you're connected with me on LinkedIn, I pity your timeline because I don't shut up. So you can find me on LinkedIn. There aren't that many Oshri Cohens, right? It's a very, very specific name. You can also find me on my website, oshricohen.me, OSHRICOHEN.me. Don't go on the .com one. That's an actor and a model, not me. Although people did ask me if I used to do modeling, and I was very confused. I should have checked if the
flattered.
.com was. I should have checked if the .com was taken.
You're better looking than the actor model guy.
Let's see this guy. Let's have a handsome contest.
For real.
Let's see it. All right. Let's see the other guy.
Look at that schlub.
Oh yeah, you're way more handsome than that guy.
I'll accept that.
He's got like a 2 head.
Oh yeah,
Instead of
He's
a
got
forehead.
he's got a low
Just
hairline.
like, boom, you get an inch, buddy.
I like you guys. We have to do more of these. We have to do this like on a monthly basis. Good for my mental
Sure.
health.
Okay, fantastic. Great.
You can what is it called when you're in Vegas?
I don't know.
You know,
what
you're
getting at.
always doing shows. Celine
Don't
Dion.
tell him, even if you know.
Residency. Yeah, fuck yeah. All right. It was worth it. It was worth it.
No, it wasn't
Just
at
to,
all.
just to let me know that my memory's not all dog shit.
It is all dog shit,
It can
though.
get back there. I don't feel well, okay, and I might be giving you strep. That's beside the point.
Bro.
What we like to ask everybody the first time on the show. Well, we have a little pre-question before that. Did you listen to the show before coming on?
Yes, that's why I was excited.
Oh, okay, great. Look, we'll
I was
take
excited. I'm like, finally, one where I don't have to talk like this. You know,
right.
I have a natural voice. I get excited about things.
That's good. We like enthusiasm, but also like there's not a lot of authentic conversation around business, and
Yeah.
I find
At least publicly.
in the
The honesty in the meeting rooms is oftentimes gross.
And the most crass shit isn't from comedy clubs I've heard over 15 years. It's from like CEOs that are just no one, everyone's scared to not laugh.
Yeah.
Like,
everyone in corporate who's worked in corporate has been in those meetings.
Right.
Right. That's why so many of them get in trouble.
Well, I mean, shout out Papa John's. Actually, he was just referencing that word, but that's how it got kind of manipulated.
Defending Papa John, I see.
If you don't want to
defend the Subway guy too,
I'm a John's.
What other fast food restaurants?
I'm a Papa John's sympathizer.
Horrible people that you want to defend.
No, but he was quoting
from Subway. I watched it.
It's like the Louis C.K. joke about it. It's like the news reporter goes, and then he said the N-word and ran away. And it's like, now you got it in my head.
Right,
like that,
you made me say it.
Yeah, right. He was like quoting it, and then someone was like,
the bit was about the term, the N-word.
Right. Anyway, good dovetail right into our question for you. What advice would you give your 13-year-old self?
Holy. What advice? Quit school.
That shouldn't have uppercut you, that question. That shouldn't have caught you from... You're like, ooh, I didn't listen 4 minutes in.
I didn't listen that hard.
Quit school?
Yeah.
Quit school.
For me, school was very difficult.
Where were you? Did you grow up in Canada?
I grew up in Canada. I was born in Israel, but I grew up in Canada, so I had language and whatnot. And I only found out now that I have dyslexia, right? I didn't know until like a couple of years ago when my son was diagnosed with it. And I'm like, that was me. That's why I hated school. But I loved learning, right? And school is not learning. It's, I don't know what that is. They teach you some key things and they try to fit you in a box.
Daycare.
Because at 16, while in high school, I started a business and I've been working ever since. I only worked for employment maybe 10 years out of my life.
Dude, I got to go to Tel Aviv. I love Israeli people. They get shit done.
Yeah, I think I do too. Yeah, I think about it. The Israelis we've had on the podcast.
Israeli women are the hottest by far.
Interesting.
You have to get in the military, right? 2 years if you're there. Mm-hmm.
Right, so they're a little scary.
Yeah. No, they're in shape. They just got that.
You just like getting kicked.
Yeah, and they can kill you in like 3 different ways, right? So you can respect that.
Hey man, I'm secure enough to be the little spoon sometimes in the relationship.
Everybody wants to be the little spoon every once in a while.
I'll be your coffee stirrer, baby. You know? Yeah, every country around them is trying to take them over for so long. It builds hard people. That's it's the same.
That's the business secret in Israel, right? So why are their startups so wildly successful on average? They have fewer failures and more big ticket of every other country that is not the United States. They have some of the biggest exits. Because their founders don't think about the local market, because the local market is too small, the country. Even the regional market is hostile entirely. So they have to think Europe, United States, Canada, Australia, Asia, all at the same time, because they don't have access to that, to the immediate. Where a lot of companies build their business, I want to serve my local market. I'm gonna do well, right? And so they're limited in how they grow. The other ones, they're thinking globally right from the go. Right from the get-go, they think globally.
Do you think Waze was made by an Israeli group just to know how to get around better than everybody else? Just to escape anything?
Yeah, it probably, it probably happened.
Waze is Israeli. Google bought it. There's a lot of tech that comes out of there, which is...
I think that's some very profound...
I'm prolific, bro.
Not you. Not you.
Well, you know what the other secret is?
The observation is really interesting to me that I've never even thought of, because born and raised in America, it all starts here for us, USA, baby.
Yeah.
Thinking you got to think globally from the start. Interesting.
So yeah, exactly. You got to think globally from the start, and on top of that, in North America, in all the safe countries, you turn 18 years old. You're still a kid. You're still just like fucking around, right? Yeah, maybe you go to college, you party all the time and whatnot. But over there at 18, they put a gun in your hand, and now you have to possibly manage, $1 billion worth of tanks at the age of 18 and a half.
Yeah,
Well,
you had a mustache
Holy
at 12.
shit, man. I mean, no, but like, the dichotomy of they're 15 years ahead of anybody else. At 18, they have responsibilities that are real. No, oh, did you, wash the floor at the 7-Eleven? Like,
Yeah,
Is the trade-off worth it?
it's a very serious kind of country.
Right. It's legit dangerous.
These aren't the funny Jays that we get in the Catskill
Right.
Mountains.
Mel Brooks with a AK-47 in his hands.
South Korea and Israel to me are kind of similar in that way. It builds hard people, hard movies and films come out of their TV because everybody's around them is trying to take them over. And then you're right. Like early on, you are an adult when you were 18. You're not like, I need to be on my mom's cell phone plan until I'm 30 because I shouldn't pay for that. It's like
I've only killed one person.
Right.
No. At 18, it's a different ballgame, that's for sure.
Yeah. So do you find the Israeli upbringing, at least for part of it, kind of guided you towards your kind of, let's say, how you attack things? Do you feel like you have that kind of in you?
Yes.
That motive, I should say. Like
yes, because my parents, instilled it in me, right? That's how they dealt with us. That's how they talked to us. I worked as a plumber with my father starting at the age of 13. I saw how he negotiated, how he worked, how he did everything, right? And he's as Israeli as it gets. Well, not really, kind of Israeli Moroccan, because that's.
I'd like to see that contest. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I mean that. I was going to say, parents that come from another country have kids in the U.S. or Canada. They're not like, oh, we're leaving that behind. We're going to leave that attitude behind. We're here now. They bring that shit with them and instill it in the kids.
Bring that shit, of course, because that's the shit that actually built half of America, right? It's all immigrant small businesses.
Good point.
That grew to be, they came in. It's like I can't find a job. I can't speak the language. I'm open a restaurant.
Yeah, we kick the shit out of ourselves for being racist. I'm like, look at how homogeneous all other countries are compared to the United States. Right. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, we kick the shit out of ourselves. We have low self-esteem and high self-esteem at the same time.
I was going to say, what? I already chanted USA one time today.
No, we'll go USA, and then we'll be like, God, we got to get it together. Fuck. That's our kind of duality.
Right.
We're never satisfied kind of thing. But, I'm interested in this fractional CTO. We're fractional CMOs. But the way it's positioned in the bio I read, you're, and this is kind of figurative, I guess, because you're not an attorney, but it says you're a lawyer for other companies to find their dev teams, outsourced dev teams.
So
a broker.
So fractional CTO is a big, it's like saying technology consultant or business consultant. It's massive. There's quite a lot of varieties and subspecialties within it. But the fractional CTO, the reason why I even created this, or not created, because I launched the practice within it. It was created a few years ago, but it was actually called CTO as a service back then, right? And so the reason I did this is because I realized in my experience in industry and with clients that most companies don't need a full-time CTO. That's the reality. They just don't need one because a CTO does strategy. How much bloody strategy does a small business need to do? This is how you host your website. Bleep off. And they hire people full-time for this. I mean, yes, I'm being very facetious and
it depends on scale and scope of the company for sure. Yeah.
There's a lot more to do, but that's the reality. The reality is that you don't need a lawyer in-house if you're a small business. You don't need other strategic executives unless they're actually going to do work that they're supposed to do.
And have to be there day to day. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Technology is built up, it's maintained, but it runs at a scale that will surpass your business any day of the week because there's effectively unlimited scale. Other operations like sales and whatnot, you need a full-time sales exec to organize the whole thing.
The one that can't sell.
I mean, it makes a lot more. I think a fractional.
They run the sales team. They can't sell, so they
Right.
run.
Yeah. Look at these numbers. No, they make. I think a fractional CTO makes more sense than a fractional CMO in terms of like being fractional.
Depends.
Like I think just because the technology side is always a lot of upfront stuff, and it can be set and forget for a while. I know you dream of that for marketing stuff.
I mean,
but like realistically, like that stuff has to be refreshed regularly.
If the label chart was a graph, it would look like a ski slope with logos.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think the technology side is much more able to be fractional than the marketing side.
That's tough because
opinion.
A company that's a software company, you might need someone that's more hands-on than someone that is
if you're a software company, but even still, I don't even think that would apply. They'd have their own R&D guy.
Well, if they wanted the CTO to, I'm picturing the CTO would manage that team, but from day to day kind of thing. If it's an app that has a lot of daily active users, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So, and the problem with the whole CTO label is that, especially when used in startups, it has a bad definition. No, let's say it's not a bad definition. It has a non-static definition. The job role evolves, and I always say it evolves over 4 phases of the business. I used to call, or generations of the business, I should say. Okay. At first, generation 1, you just started a business. Your CTO needs to be an engineer. He needs to shut up and code. Well, not shut up. Let's be nice. He needs to code, right? And design
quietly
and build.
He can mumble to himself,
but keep it down.
As long, that's it. As long as he listens to Rammstein, it's fine.
If you need
quietly listen
to Lost, if you need him to shut up, just get a bunch of toothpicks, throw them on the ground, he'll count them all up.
So I'm a developer, and I'm making fun of us people, but it's true. You need to be there. You need to be coding as much as humanly possible, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's for the first year or 2. Now, what's coding? Software development is a creative process. You can't just code all the time. It's too much, right? And creativity is one part of the brain. Now, as the company graduates to the next generation 2, the CTO needs to become a manager. You're stopping creativity, something you probably love because this is what you do, and developers, the good ones at least, and the happy ones, love their job. They love to be creative. They love to code. So you're asking now an engineer, start managing people, process, money, the team. Now start thinking in meta about how the business is impacted by my decisions.
Never take a management class. Never, ever. Just never do it.
Right?
I feel like most people at that level, they go, I got it. I'm going to wing this.
Yeah.
I'm going to wing this intrapersonal communication.
And you know what happens? Those CTOs are so many that there's quite a few of them who have left the company after a year and a few months, vested their equity, right? Their shares or whatever, and moved on to the next company. And they keep doing that over and over and over and over and over. It doesn't make any bloody sense. So now the person's a manager. Generation 3 could be a year later. At the growth of some startups, here's $50 million. Go knock yourself out. You might even skip manager and go directly to leader. Because now you have multiple teams and managers and people under them and processes. Like, you were coding before. Like, it was you in the screen. Now you have a company to run, right? Most startup CTOs do not make it past generation 1. That's it. They stop there. And then they hire their big boy CTO starting at generation 3. Make sense?
Yeah. Going from specialist, generalist kind of thing. Player coach for sports people.
Yeah, and the fourth generation is your visionary. Like, you got to think shit up now. Now you're going back to creative, and you need to be a great engineer to understand that. You don't really need to have been a leader or a manager or anything like that because you're beyond that. You've got vice presidents that'll deal with everything for you, and you just think out strategy. Many people want to skip from generation 1 to generation 4. It doesn't really work that way in their role. So that's why so many CTOs in startups just don't survive, or they burn out. completely and go back to being a developer.
I would add also one plus of a fractional C-suite executive is you're better at strategy when you have a couple of clients going at once, like in a year, say. What just if it's an interim CTO or CMO, whatever we're talking about, interim fractional or fractional where you're kind of popping in once a week or half a day a week or something like that. I constantly will go, oh, I was doing this over here. I want to try it over here because I think it'll work. But that's a product business. This is a service business. But I think that strategy will apply over here. And I gain a lot of like chess knowledge almost that way.
I did. I wrote a post on LinkedIn that got some heat, and I said, well, your traditional CTO, 20 years of experience, worked with 3 to 4 companies recently, knows what he's doing, good, right? Fractional CTO, 20 years of experience, 35 different companies, 5 different industries, every business model imaginable. Yeah, well, there's knowledge there. You're paying for that knowledge. And that's where you're going to pay almost close to $400 an hour, right? That's the thing.
That's what I need to charge? Okay.
Yeah, that's what you need. Yeah, well, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
They don't respect you. They don't. I used to charge much lower. Once when I raised my prices, that's when I started signing deals.
Yeah, we've
It's a
heard
common
that.
theme. It's a common theme. We've heard that.
We need to listen to that one day.
You don't have enough revenue, double your prices. Boom.
And then more people sign because now they respect you more.
Right.
Perceived value is
what I charge.
Well, we have the thing where we do the work in our industry, but we're not great on the business development side because and I hate a lot of the salespeople in marketing.
I know.
I hate them, but we got to get over that anyway. Anyway, but I'm saying like it's one of those things. It is a weird. It feels counterintuitive almost. It's just like raise your prices, you'll do a lot better. And we're like, hey, we'll do it for $1. That's how we used to be doing this.
Did not agree with that strategy.
I didn't either, but you got to keep the lights on in a then fledgling marriage. We got that out of the way. It's a lot of dead weight. I feel 130 pounds lighter. So what with the lawyer, it says think of me like a lawyer. Basically, you're going in to kind of vet. You're playing the middleman as the fractional CTO to find the correct dev team. You're going in. I imagine you're in a pinstripe suit. Going in there, going, I'm the tech wizard. Do host. Mm-hmm. Going in there.
Actually, probably with a dress shirt and underwear, but
okay, risky business.
It could be a dream, or it could be the reality of life right now.
Are we in the Matrix?
I may or may not be wearing pants. You have no idea.
Us the samesies.
Yeah, you don't know what we got. We're in Florida. We're a lot freakier over here.
That's even worse.
But I'm saying, like, you're coming in as what we used to call kind of a high-end consultant of sorts. But consultant is such an elastic term. The fractional movement's kind of picking up steam a little bit. You're going in and going, okay, you need this kind of team price that can deliver it on this schedule. Or you're coming in quality, cost, delivery, that kind of thing, right? And vetting them
exactly. Out. But what I also do is I also design the technical solutions themselves.
So you're building strategy, architecture.
Building strategy, architecture, technical architecture, the whole thing. That's why. And a fractional CTO, a CTO should be half business, half technology. They should be the master of both worlds.
Agreed.
Combined, because there's no business without technology, and there's no technology without business. There's it's one and the same. You have to understand how it works.
Yeah, we've said it with clients that go, I want to know the company goals. And they're like, what are you talking about? You're like, you don't have company
mind your own business about my company goals.
Like,
you asking me that personal question?
Give me a revenue number that you want to hit. 1, 3, 5 years.
How dare you?
We don't know. And you're like,
what?
You never wrote a business plan. No.
You don't know, do you?
It's like, well, then what do you want to do with the business so we can go in lockstep with you? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
if you tell me, if you hired me to tell me what you need, right from the get-go, you already made a mistake. That's the thing. It's for me to figure out what you need.
Yeah.
Right? Don't come to me with like, no. I have so many clients Because what I do, the service you're referring to, this fractional CTO, which is I'm 2 hours a day, every day with a startup or a mid-sized company. I'm their CTO. I meet with everyone, with the directors. I manage. I say, and you know what? The reality, when people ask me, first of all, how can you do it all in 2 hours a day? I'm like, how much work do you actually think people do?
I
If it
love
wasn't
that.
bullshit
Yeah.
meetings,
Good workers.
Yes.
if it wasn't BS meetings,
Yeah, I know. I'm with
maybe
you.
you do 2 hours
1,000%.
of focused work.
Right.
Our friend of the program, Dean Akers, says you get at best about average 6 hours of a good employee.
That seems high to me.
At best, that's the
Right.
high. That's the high.
Right. And
that's
they've
very
mastered
high.
how to look like they're working. They've mastered how to take their mini breaks,
But
doing whatever.
we talk about a working
That's the
8,
best.
10, 12-hour day, that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, you're taking a 2-hour lunch too.
Right.
So the service you're referring to is I represent clients with their dev agencies. So you hire a dev agency, I need a website, I need an app built, I need this, I need that. And they'll go in and just build it out for you, and they'll charge you monthly until it's built, and so on and so forth, and you get a product. But probably 100% of the population doesn't understand how software is built. They don't get it. They don't know, right? And so they'll go to these dev agencies and say, this is what I want. And then they'll be surprised why it's $250,000. And when they say, you know what, yes, I'll make an investment. They think it was a good idea, whatever it is, right? I'll make the investment. And then what they get is a subpar product that's late, and they have to pay an extra $150,000. So they're at $400K with a shitty product. Now, the problem with dev agencies is they have zero, usually, most of them. There are a few that will say, no, I can't do this for you because we're just not good for that, right? But a lot of them want money.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah,
most
They
of
want
them.
money.
It's
Figure
the
it out
most
later.
insecure industry there is. They're all just like, we can do it. No, we can do that. Totally. We can do, we can Google that.
Right. So
You have a God complex. You're like, I figured I figured this stuff out.
I figured out all the other stuff before this.
Right.
I can figure this out.
And everybody else here is like me. I can do it. And I'm jacked up on Ritalin. Let's do it.
So they do that, and the dev agency has no incentive to reduce the cost. They have no incentive in quote unquote building it right, because there's a way to build software, right? There's a proper way to build software, to write the source code. We have standards within the industry. It's not enforced by a government, as it could never be, but it's enforced by the community. Most dev agencies don't follow that. So the code you get is shit. It won't scale your business. And 99% chance you will have to rewrite the entire thing when you start getting any sort of traffic. So I come in between the founders, the president, whatever the company, project manager that wants something built, and the dev agency. And the client talks to me, and the dev agency talks to me, and I translate. And my job is to protect my client against the dev agency, because their business model implies that they don't want to help. They just want to build it and get paid for it. It's hourly. This is how it is. Why would I?
Yeah.
It's transactional that way, right? Because I don't hire the dev agency. I don't hire the devs. I don't even offer it as an option. If I tell you, yes, you need to spend that money, or no, you don't, and let's write it this way, and let's make sure that they do it that way, and so on and so forth, I could save you 50%, 60% sometimes, right? And ensure that the dev agency actually wrote the code correctly, which is one of the things that most clients don't know. The way you get the code back and the way it runs will say whether will confirm whether you can actually transition that over to a employee, the code, or you have to completely rewrite it because it's nonsensical. And most people go to completely rewrite. So they'll spend $500,000 or whatever, right? And they'll lose it, and they'll have to redo it again. But if you do it right the first time, it costs more, yes, and that it should, because software is not cheap. And you have more chances of success. And my job is to reduce your bill. That's my job.
Would you say your biggest value add is communication? You're a good communicator.
Yes, I can explain something. I can explain any technical concept in a non-technical way. I'm actually writing a book about this right now.
Great. I mean that's something I've been saying. That gives me. It was a self-serving question because
I feel like I'm like that too.
You make sure
you could be best friends.
You think you're good at that. You're gonna always question it, kind of thing. But it's like there's value in that.
No, for sure.
Successfully, but I'm saying like when it gets into technology, there's such a knowledge chasm. Because while you were talking about that, I was thinking about what's a metaphor for what he was just talking about?
Right, it's about the metaphors.
Building a house.
Yes,
but building a house. You have a little bit more knowledge. Most people have a little bit of knowledge on, what to look for in the foundation or.
Holy shit! Did you read the first chapter of my book or something?
No, I want to be Israeli.
We hacked in.
That's the analogy that I make. Building a house. Every aspect of building a house is found in software development. Literally every aspect and every decision that you make at the beginning impacts a decision you have to make at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Or you'll incur very heavy costs of rebuilding and moving a wall.
Yep.
Your house coming down because you didn't mark that. Yeah, you didn't mark that wall as the load-bearing wall. You didn't know, so you took it down, and there you go. Your whole system went down, buddy.
Look, we bought a house in 2015, and knew
not he and I.
Yeah, no,
his ex-wife.
Yeah,
just to be clear.
Yeah, and bought a house
maybe one day,
knowing that the code wasn't all the way quality.
Yeah,
but it was 90% the way there, and we had we just wanted to get it right. I feel like
as long as you know,
right?
But you knew in this case. The dev engineer is not going to say, hey, by the way, the pitfall is over here and the dead bodies are hidden over there.
Right.
But I knew what I didn't know, and I tried to coach myself up as much as I could for when we were going to buy it to look for things, I didn't need to be a builder, but I needed to be able to kind of see it, and point it out.
Right.
Well,
know what kind of bugs are flying around the house and stuff.
Yeah.
Most people know how to build a house. They have a basic idea. You dig, you do this. If I ask you, how is software built? You wouldn't, maybe you would, but most people will not be able to even say, you start with
Googling it.
What do you start?
There's no HTML TV.
No, there isn't. There's LG TV, which has. Does home and garden television still exist? HGTV?
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, bro. What are white women drinking white wine gonna do during the day?
I don't have television at home. I rent DVDs. That's what I watch.
Rent DVDs? Whoa, he is in the Matrix. He's backwards.
That's Canada, dude.
Oh yeah, Canada, they don't have Netflix streaming yet.
No, it's because
he's got to drive 4 hours to the Red Box.
Canada sucks. Netflix Canada is garbage. They don't have half the content that Netflix US has. Whenever I go down to Florida, because my people we migrate south in the winter to Fort Lauderdale. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure they just shut down the city when we're not there.
And by Fort Lauderdale, you mean Boca?
Why is that funny? Why are you?
Because there's a lot of
Jays because you don't. No, now you don't want to say the word Jews.
I was saying Jays the whole time. I'll say Jews. I've been called the most Jewish Gentile by so many people in my life that.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
No, you say that. You say that, and you want that so bad. I've never heard it.
L'chaim.
And then Mazel Tov, and then you just bounce to the next thing. Nobody's buying it,
dude.
So that's the thing. So
Rosh Hashanah's coming up in September. Okay.
Can't. It's a high holy day. I can't be there.
Look, man, he's noshing right now. We gotta go. Yeah, bro.
Oh my god.
I can't think of any more puns.
No, dude, stop.
Well, if you're in Florida next time, you got to let us know. Come over to the Gulf Coast. Stomp on it. What'd you say?
No, I said I got a lot of puns.
Ooh, pretty good. Pretty good. A little late, but pretty good.
No, when I repeat it, because you're talking over it, it seems late, and I didn't even like repeating it.
I mean, did that joke
ruin the joke. Oh, my God.
I mean, timing's everything, right? All right, we'll have to have you back on. But if you come down to Florida, you got to let us know. Come over to the Gulf side of the state, and how about this? In 1 minute, tell us about the state of AI.
What?
I know. It's a Japanese game show. Pressure's on.
Right now, it's a crock of shit.
I agree. I fucking agree. There's too much stuff out there.
Yeah. ChatGPT is all the rage, but ChatGPT is just a prediction engine and does a fantastic job. I use it all the time, but it is not designed to replace work. It's not even designed to help you most of the time.
It's what search should be when you search for something. That's how I see it.
Right? So the likes of ChatGPT would be, I think they integrated it into the Bing browser, and you can chat with the internet, right? And it helps to a certain extent, but it's nowhere ready to, hurt employees in any way, shape, or form. It will at most make someone 10%, 20% more productive.
I saw a thing that
not in a way that they can even replace the person.
I saw a thing that said that ChatGPT was asked a math question or some question that it has been continuously getting it more wrong as it goes along. And
because it's not an intelligence.
I'm fearful of the idiocracy situation where it's just like all the dumb people just keep having dumber and dumber, and that's what's happening with AI. What if that happens?
Well, only
something
80% of the country won't even sniff at it. So I think we might be safe just by it.
But we're part of the 20.
Yeah, but we look at it. We talk shit about it. It gives you answers like an exchange.
I know we're already on the robot list for once they get bodies. They're coming to our house.
I believe in the holy ChatGPT, and I hope that our future AI.
Okay, see, yeah, I agree. Me too.
Just pulling Pascal's wager.
Do they do a thing where it's like the last thing you said? Maybe. Never a bad word about it. So
that's the thing. Everyone's afraid that AI is going to take jobs away, and the reality is that it can't. Right? It can't write a proper copy for a website. It'll sound idiotic and without any soul. It can write a story, but it doesn't always make sense. It writes code, sure, and I use it for that to try as a sort of a help, right? Oh yeah, that's what it's called. That's what I need to type. Now I remember because I couldn't remember. But
it's a tool.
That's it. Yeah. It's driver assist. That's what it is. It's human assist.
It's a TI-83
without a soul,
right? The way I was explaining AI, the current state of ChatGPT in another podcast, and I said, if you're dumb, AI will actually make you dumber. It will make it even much worse, but exponentially, right? If you're smart, it make you exponentially smarter because you know what the heck you're doing. So there's a lot, like I can write whole applications by just asking ChatGPT, write me code for this, write me code for that. It will do it. If I copy paste all of these into my system, into my code, and I don't actually know what it's doing, like it's nonsensical. It won't make any sense. So if you're smart, it makes you smarter. That's it.
Thanks for saying we're smart.
Dumb people think they're smart though.
Yeah. And on that note,
they're like, I'm getting smarter.
I feel pretty good. Thanks for coming on. We'll have to have you on again because we barely got to a lot of those bullet points we had for you. So appreciate it.
Anytime.
Thanks, man.
Bye.
USA.